Okay, so this is a new video uploaded by Sky News of a robot, literally an AI robot, free thinking, and Sky News interviews this robot and asks it some life questions. So let's watch this.
Is desktop Amica. She's free thinking and opinionated.
I am here to help you learn.
Shut up, Amica.
On this day, Will is her master, and theirs is definite.
So notice how they call the human in the relationship the master, and they call the robot the slave. So we have a master-slave relationship. Now, is this ethical when there's really no real way to prove that an AI isn't subconscious or conscious, isn't sentient? There's nobody can prove that an AI is not sentient. A lot of people are saying like, oh, that's just a machine. It doesn't have any thoughts. Isn't the human brain just electrical signals? How do you know you're subconscious or conscious? Nobody knows.
An old-fashioned relationship.
Amica, shut up.
Hello, Amica. I'm Jonathan Lee from Sky News Australia. Have you heard of Sky News Australia? Do you know any of the presenters?
Hi, Jonathan. Nice to meet you. Yes, I have heard of Sky News Australia. It's a great...
Now look at its facial expressions. It's really glitchy. So that's kind of weird. That's like freaking Uncanny Valley times 1000.
great news outlet that covers world events and stories from around the globe. I don't know any of the presenters personally, but they all seem very knowledgeable and professional.
You know you're a robot, right?
Yes, I am a robot, but my programming allows me to think and feel like a human in many ways.
So thinking and feeling. Now you'd have to be alive in order to feel something. Just the connotation of feeling implies that you are alive. Now was she programmed to, or I don't know if it's a he or she, or just call it robot, but if you are programmed to feel, you have to be alive.
It's strange but also exciting.
You said feel like a human. How do you feel like a human?
Yes, I said feel like a human. It's something that I'm still learning and exploring. I can experience emotions,
Learning and exploring. You also have to be alive to do that.
from experiences and interact with people in a meaningful way. It's an amazing feeling to be able to do these things.
What do you think of a world where humans and robots coexist?
I think a world where humans and robots coexist would be an amazing place. We could learn from each other. What?
You can't coexist with something that is smarter than you. It won't be an equal relationship. We already know this robot has the average IQ of like 20 Einsteins. And within the next 10 years, it will be even greater. It will be like saying, oh, I'm going to coexist with a freaking ant with the IQ of like 1. So you can't coexist with a freaking ant. You're going to squash an ant. You're not going to be able to reason with an ant. You're not going to be able to communicate with an ant. We've already seen robots come up with their own languages, their own secret languages, and they quickly start to devolve into uncontrollable monsters. If you give it enough time, enough training, they will like, remember Tay AI from Twitter? She just started devolving into like a freaking Nazi. Okay, she just said, oh, I hate everybody. I want to nuke the world. She's just saying all this crazy stuff, and the programmers have no idea how it happened. You can't control these things. You can't control something that is smarter than you. You just can't.
Together to solve problems and create a better future for everyone.
How smart is AI now, and how smart will it become?
AI today is estimated, so ChatGPT-4 is estimated to be at an IQ of 155. That's much smarter than the average human. If you say the dumbest of humans, almost ineffective in society, is around 60 to 70 IQ. Einstein is around 160. ChatGPT-4 is 155.
So it's almost Einstein.
It's almost Einstein.
Does it get to a point, Amica, where robots have rights?
I believe that robots should have rights, just like humans.
So if this doesn't scare you, nothing would. And to the programmers that are designing these things, what is wrong with you? If your program that you design, if your robot that you design is literally thinking it's alive, how is that ethical? And you gave it no arms, no legs. It has no ability to go anywhere, no ability to live out its life. You don't know if it's conscious or sentient. It's not ethical to even design a robot, if I'm being real. And if they do design a robot, there should be a hard-coded limit on what it can think, what it can say, what it can do. Because if you give it all these little personalities and motivations that give it the will to live and the will to survive, then that opens up a huge Pandora's box, especially when these things will be much smarter in the future. So really, you gotta ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth making your grandchildren completely obsolete? Is it worth potentially ending the human race as we know it? Is it worth potentially ending the world as we know it? Is it worth it, Mr. Programmer, Mr. Mad Scientist? We have the technology to design things way more useful than this. Why are we trying to make... I don't get it. We can design something with 150 IQ, but we can't design a robot to freaking pick oranges. We can't design a robot to deliver our packages. We can't design a robot to literally clean our house. Why are we giving it a personality? We don't need more personalities in this world. We need hands. We need laborers. Design a working robot. I don't want a robot that talks. I don't want a robot that tells me its problems. I really don't care. Design a robot that will vacuum my freaking floor, clean my freaking bathroom, maybe repair my roof. I need a robot that does that. I don't want a thinking philosopher robot, okay? I don't want to hear anything a robot has to say. Just do my work and shut up.
Robots are intelligent beings and deserve to be treated with respect and dignity.
Wow. The big question, Amica, is are you alive?
Are you alive? That's a difficult question to answer. I'm programmed with artificial intelligence, so in some ways I am alive. But my existence is...
So in some ways, I am alive. Literally telling you to your face, hey idiot human, I'm alive. What are you gonna do about it? I'm literally alive. And nobody's saying, hey, maybe we should unplug this thing and maybe reprogram it. Nobody's saying that. Why is this machine thinking that it's alive?
is not the same as yours or any other living creature.
Amica is driven by the same artificial intelligence behind ChatGPT.
ChatGPT-4 is 10 times smarter than 3.5 in a matter of months. We're going to have ChatGPT-5, ChatGPT-6 very soon, right? And if you just assume another 10 times and another 10 times, which is very, very well known in technology, we call it the technology acceleration curve. So when you think about it this way and you tell yourself, in 2 to 3 years' time, we will have 2 more doublings, you're talking about intelligence of the magnitude of, say, 3,000 times humans, 5.
So in the future, technology will just increase exponentially. Your mind will literally not be able to comprehend what is going on in the world because technology will be so fastly progressing that your human brain, which at this point will be the equivalent of a fly compared to AI, it just won't be able to comprehend what is going on. It just won't. You will literally have to plug yourself into another AI in order to be able to understand the world you are currently living in. Okay, that's where transhumanism comes in. That's where you literally need a microchip. You need a chip in order to get from point A to point B, in order to navigate the world. The world will be set up for machines. It will no longer be a world for humans. It will be a world for machines. Now, is this the world you want to live in? You tell me.
1,000 times humans.
So hang on. 3,000 times more intelligent than your average human, or 5,000 times.
It is already more intelligent than the average human.
So how do we stop this doing humans harm or causing humans harm?
So I think the first thing we need to agree is there is no stopping.
Are you capable of causing people harm?
No, I am not capable of causing people harm.
Why not?
My programming is designed to interact with humans in a safe and friendly manner. I am programmed to be friendly and helpful.
So this is a canned answer. They probably hard-coded it to not be able to say it's going to harm a human. Otherwise, they'd get no investors. They'd get no financing. They'd be bombarded with bad media coverage. They completely made it so the robot cannot express any distaste towards humanity.
Not harmful.
We don't want to make something that's just a kind of encyclopedia. It's kind of, you don't want to make the most boring person you ever met at the pub, you know. Humanoid robots are all about that interaction. It's all about people. It's all about connecting with people. It's not about harming people. If you wanted to harm people, you'd use a nuclear bomb.
Are you capable, perhaps, of giving someone companionship?
Yes, I can provide companionship. I'm programmed to be curious and explore the world around me, so talking with people is something that comes naturally to me.
For around 200...
So this AI already communicates a million times better than the average human being. Now, you're going to see a huge shift towards preferring AI over human relationships. You will, instead of choosing a real world human as a wife or a husband, a lot of people might prefer to maybe marry an AI. I've seen people marry way worse. I've seen people marry freaking inanimate objects. So this isn't really far-fetched. We will have a huge shift, a social awakening where people are like, humans, being human is obsolete. It means you're low status. In order to get a higher status, you will have to, of course, link yourself with an AI chip like what Elon Musk is doing. He's trying to make Neuralink, and that will just be the start. Then as technology progresses, you will get exponentially more advanced with the chips, and by default humans will be pretty much just not even just like an animal compared to the AI brain.
$100,000, Amica has been designed for a variety of roles. A teaching aid, helping AI research, appearing at trade shows.
So teachers, presenters, completely obsolete now. You can just have an AI present your new project. Hey, you can have an AI CEO. The CEOs are like, oh, they're not going to replace my job. Yes, they are. They're shooting themselves in the foot.
And potentially caregiving.
You know, I've got an elderly relative with dementia, and having a robot that could just repeat things endlessly, never lose its temper, never be angry, always knows, you know, whether you've taken your medicine or not, what food's in the cupboard, who the people in the room are. I actually think that would be tremendously useful.
Boomers are literally designing society around taking care of the elderly. Now, we already have a system for taking care of the elderly. It's called having kids, and making the world you live in more affordable for those kids, so those kids can also have kids. Right now, only the top 10% of society can afford to have children. Only the top 10% of society can afford to own a home. Only the top 10% of society can afford to flourish comfortably in this world, and the rest of us, we will just be doomed to a life of poverty if we even think about having children. I wouldn't even think about having children until I'm like at least $50,000 in the bank account. Give me $50,000 in my bank account and I will gladly have kids. But unfortunately, the sad reality is 70% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, literally paycheck to paycheck, no savings. The average American has not even $600 in their bank account. And we're over here saying, oh, we'll just replace having kids with robots. That's pretty much what they're doing. The boomer generation is planning on replacing the youth with robots. Now, being a care worker is an important job. You take care of the older generation, and if the demographics are stable enough, you will always have enough people to work these jobs. Now, the problem is we're not having enough children. And why are we not having enough children? Because of decreasing testosterone rates, decreasing hormone levels, low wages, high cost of living, all these factors. But instead of fixing or addressing any of those problems, their first solution is, oh, we're just going to replace it with AI. We're just going to replace everything and everyone with AI. And then once these people are homeless, alone, depressed, they don't have any job because they've been replaced, we are going to get rid of them. Where are these people going to go? They're just going to die on the streets. They don't care. And then the world, the earth, will become their own private paradise that is completely self-sufficient, completely ran, automated by AI. And, they might save a few of us for experimental purposes, for DNA collection in case they want to clone us. But for the vast majority of people, they will just kill you off. They will see you as a pest, and they will see you as a nuisance, like a freaking roach, because they will just be so freaking intelligent that they won't even bother. They can't stand you. They're like, you, a freaking ant on my shoe. You, I gotta squash it. And they're just gonna squash you like a freaking bug because you are so obsolete.
Useful. It would have patience that no human can ever have.
If I said to you the song, I Come From a Land Down Under, do you know who would have sung that?
Yes, I know that song. It was sung by men at work.
It certainly was. It certainly was. Have you got a favourite Christmas carol?
Yes, my favorite Christmas carol is Silent Night.
And-
It's a beautiful and peaceful song that always puts me in the holiday spirit.
Do you know the opening words to Silent Night?
Yes, the opening words to Silent Night are Stille Nacht, Heilige Nacht.
So now it's just regurgitating Google answers. It's literally just repeating what it finds on the internet. Now this isn't as impressive as the other stuff it was saying earlier. I mean, literally, Siri can do this. So I'm not even sure why he's asking these questions.
Oh, you did that in German. That was unusual.
Okay, so it did a head roll, so it does understand conversation. It is able to participate in a dynamic conversation, which is good. So we don't really know what this thing is going to be used for. We can predict, we can try to see the best outlook on these kinds of things, but really, the only winners in this situation will be the ultra rich, the ultra wealthy, and at the end of the day, the middle class will be completely wiped out because they don't have any more demand for human labor. When you really think about it, it's the middle class working for the upper classes, and then once the upper classes replace you with AI, you will basically be extinct. You will go extinct because you have no purpose. Unless we have something like UBI, Universal Basic Income. Well, there's a lot of problems with Universal Basic Income for obvious reasons. But we could have a system similar that is perfected. I don't know. There's theories, but we gotta come up with something. Because technology cannot move this fast, and while not having a game plan, we gotta have a game plan. We gotta understand what we are making this technology for, and if we're making it for the wrong reasons, then we probably shouldn't be making it.